Halloween
Forever.
Good evening, Steven. How's it going?
It's going okay, Brian. It's going okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll take that. Boy, this movie we're watching this weekend, despite obviously using it to punish you and our listeners for your insolence, I thought it to be topical because I don't know if you've seen this in the news at all, but a lot of robot crime happening out there.
Yeah? Is that true?
You've been seeing that? A lot of robot-related crime happening?
I guess I've seen some.
Yeah, you seen some out there? I heard this, I saw in the news, this one robot tried to rob a bank.
Oh, yeah?
But in classic robot fashion, he was caught when his battery died. You know, his battery died mid-crime.
Mm-hmm.
You see that funny, one of those dumb criminal stories out there? Yeah, the weirdest thing, though, is the police have no plans to charge the suspect.
Hey.
Welcome, boils and ghouls, to a very fucking stupid Minisode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Steve, and it is this movie is very fucking stupid. 2, I have seen some robot crime, and I don't know if I sent you the video on Instagram or not, but it was just like a montage called R.O.T.O.R. And it's just a montage of all these jank ass robots that they keep building, just like dancing and like getting caught in shit and falling down.
Yeah.
But there's one that actually does robot crime in that, like, it's walking a convention, like a convention floor.
Sure.
And there's this woman passing on the other side of it, and it's swinging its arms, and it fucking fully crotches this lady. Like, goes up between her legs, underneath her skirt, and smacks her right between the legs.
Like, gives her the China, like, uppercut from behind between the legs.
Full WWE, like, forearm to the junk. And, like, this lady, like, she thought she was, like, going to interact with the robot, and it just fucking crotches her. and she looks at the camera, she's like, what the fuck? Like...
I never see robots do anything fun like that. I always just see videos of them like trying to walk over like irregular surfaces and like tripping and sliding.
Yeah. I mean, that was the majority of the compilation. But yeah, that one stuck out as actual robot crime, smacking a lady in the cooter.
Yeah, just straight coot punching her. That's always fun. Well, and that puts some validity to my fake story that was a joke setup. But guys, you might be like, what's all this robot talk? Is this International Robot Day? No, sir. It surely isn't. We are talking about a little movie from 1987, got a lot to do with robots. It's called R.O.T.O.R, R.O.T.O.R, and that's an acronym. So it's R.O.T.O.R. This was a punishment episode.
Correct.
Because I don't know if you guys saw last week, we did a little showdown, right? And we did a little murder for the sake of art or something. I never remember what the title was, but it was something like that. Yep. And we talked about movies that had something to do, something art tied into them, whether there were artists involved, whether the subject matter had to do with some form of art, whatever. It's fairly loose. Anyway, we did that. And it came down to Steven and I on the socials. It went out to the socials and our Patreon voting poll via the Discord. And maybe no surprise here, your boy won. Your boy took it home. Now,
asterisks.
Probably shouldn't have
asterisks.
No asterisks. This is how it's set up. This is how it's set up. But
hella asterisks.
Hella asterisks. All right, go ahead.
When we were recording the episode, both Dan and James who were in the Discord with us said that I should have won. James, being the one patron who picked the third movie of that showdown.
Sure. 2,
you yourself said that Murder Party is a better movie than Fade to Black.
Yep. I am just saying, I don't make the rules. All right. I do not make the rules. They are written in the bylaws. They are written in blood, and you cannot change them. So, being that this was a Patreon pick, and then me and Steve were the only ones to get, we kind of voted in such a way where there needed to be a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker goes to the votes, and the vote came out on top for your boy. And I will say, little Missy over there playing victim, this has happened couple 2-3 times on the other direction as well, Steven. So, but
I also won all of the patrons' votes on the Patreon. It's only on Instagram that you won by 2
times. Sometimes it pays off to pick a more well-known movie. We know this. It happens all the time. Them's the rules. I don't make them, but I do reap the benefits on occasion. So your boy took it down with Fade to Black over Murder Party. So I got to pick a punishment movie. I don't think I did you too dirty. I picked a movie that is very stupid and pretty fun.
This movie is actually really arduous. It is fucking like 70% phone calls.
It is very dialogue heavy, but the dialogue is funny because it's so stupid and unbelievably poorly written.
Yeah. This movie, it's close to being one of those every frame a mistake type films.
Mm-hmm.
And
the ineptitude runneth over.
Yeah, and it might actually just be that type of film that it's just like you can check out on it. Nothing changes. Just incredibly long stretches that like nothing happens. They set up like so much travel in the film. Most of the film is travel and phone calls.
It looks like at points stock footage that you would see in the background during an airport, like onboarding video or something like that. If you were going to work like at TSA or something like that at the airport. Yeah, it's very bad. It's poorly made, but there's a lot of really fun decisions. I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm glad you didn't like it because it's a punishment.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to like it. But we got a couple things to do at the top of the show before we talk about R.O.T.O.R from the year of our Lord 1987. First of all, Steven, are you sipping on a beer?
Yeah,
at least over there.
Yeah, I went full goof juice. I wasn't going to sit around and watch this and talk about this damn movie sober. So I went.
Nor should you.
Yeah, I went full goof juice. And hey, man, it's cold now, more or less. You know, we've been in the 60s all week. So I just break out the big stuff. Classic North Coast Brewing Old Rasputin 9% Imperial Russian Stout.
That's a damn classic. That is a damn classic. I love that beer. It's probably been too long since I had it. Probably should get it again. Yeah, stout weather is upon us, guys. That would be what you would consider a classic example of the Russian Imperial Stout style. Did I just see some news that North Coast just merged with another brewery or something like that? I think I saw something about that. I might be imagining it.
Maybe. I just saw the news that 21st Amendment's going under.
Yeah, they're closing down. I heard they might be trying to find another someone that might want to buy the company.
A private equity firm.
Hopefully not. That never really goes well. And that's usually pretty short-lived, but we shall see. I'm going not the complete polar opposite of the because that's when you said goof juice, I thought it was going to be, purple Kool-Aid and salted caramel and cotton candy or something like that. But I'm going the other end of the spectrum from a flavor perspective, but also a classic example of the style, but a little different style, pretty darn different style. It's not an ale, it's a lager. It's not dark, it's light. It's not high ABV, it's low ABV. I'm drinking a Helles. Maybe not terrifically surprising, but Augustiner from Munich has started. We started getting their Helles around here again, which has been a little while since we got the Helles. So we got fresh Augustiner Helles popping up around town, and I grabbed a 6-pack of it. So I'm drinking Augustiner Helles. Just one of my favorite beers to drink in quantity. I on Friday night watched Joe Bob, the September double feature. And I sat outside, took my TV outside under the gazebo, sat out there, drank a 6-pack, did drugs, stuff like that. Watched, what did they start it out with? Oh, they started it out with one of the, oh gosh, what's the guy's name? He's Brazilian. He's like the Brazilian Freddy Krueger kind of.
Coffin Joe?
Coffin Joe? Yes, I couldn't think of it. He watched one of the Coffin Joe movies. Now, I remember I watched the first one, and I think it's like at midnight, I'll Take Your Soul or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember not loving it. I remember like, it's kind of dragging. I think the performance is cool. The guy who plays Coffin Joe, it's a great story, all that stuff. But I was not terrifically impressed. They showed his second movie, which is This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. Steven, this movie fucking rules. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see it, no.
It's slow. It starts a little slow, and it's a little lengthy. I want to say it's like, push like hour 48, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the last, like, I'm going to say 2/3 of it just absolutely fucking rip. There's some really cool set pieces. It goes way harder than you expect. And then it finishes in the most disappointing way you can imagine. But then I learned watching, The Last Drive-In, the history behind why it finished the way it finished. There was some meddling, some censorship meddling, which was it was just a really cool in-depth discussion, and learned a lot about it. But boy, that movie fucking ripped. And then they played The Church after that, which I fell asleep not long into it because I was old and drunk.
Sure, yeah. But that movie fucking rips. I love that movie.
I do too. Yeah, I'm excited. I decided like, hey, I'm going to bed. I'm going to save this for another night.
Mm-hmm.
For outdoor movie watching. But I also, Steven, watched. Finally, got around to watching Nosferatu.
Oh, wow! I thought you'd seen it, but okay.
And that movie fucking rules so hard.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that movie fucking rules so hard. I finally got around to watching it the whole way through. Like, I tried to start it a couple times, and just like stuff came up. I have kids, things happen, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I sat down and watched it the way through. Holy shit, that movie fucking rips. I just been checking stuff off the old list this week. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for the first time.
Oh yeah,
didn't watch that one for whatever reason. Watched that one this week. I went through and cranked through a bunch of long movies that I haven't seen. But just drinking some Helles, hanging out, watching some movies. What was also got? I'm getting completely off topic here. What was I about to say? Oh yes.
I don't know what you're about to say. You're just going through all the movies you watched.
I know. I went through all. I'm so fucking tired, Steven. I'm so tired. I've been up since early this morning. I exercised. I've watched 3 soccer games today.
Yay.
And then I came home and cooked dinner, and now I'm doing this. My brain's all swelled up. I don't remember what I was leading into the conversation about Joe Bob on. I completely lost my thought process there. But we got some other shit we got to do, obviously, at the top of the show. Steve, we're not going to probably talk about the movies for next month yet because, of course, we got the Wheel of Ween coming down the pipe, right?
You got it. We're not going to spin any wheel this week because the wheel will decide what movies we watch. It's already been decided. We'll be watching horror movies set during Halloween for the month of October. That's just the way it goes. So instead, I can offer who our first guest for that episode will be.
Well, there you go. Let's do that. Who's our guest going to be?
So our first guest, and hopefully I'll be able to announce another guest next week. But our first guest, got to bring him back. Got to bring him back because he's got the nickname for it already.
Oh, of course.
He's been on multiple Halloween episodes as well, our October showdowns, and I don't believe he's won any of them. So
no, he doesn't have a great track record.
This is his chance to come back, make a showing, and possibly win, because as we know, the Wheel-O-Ween decides really everybody's fate.
Sure.
But coming from out in the Pennsylvania Appalachian woods, dropping the moniker of Bigfoot, only to take up the title of Big Ween, we're bringing back Big Ween Ben.
Big Ween Ben coming back once again for at least his third.
I think it's his third.
Wheel-O-Ween episode. Yeah, I mean, listen, he has had some rough picks.
Yeah.
And also, in the past, I don't think Ben would be upsetting me saying some of them were self-inflicted.
So,
some of the picks they did as well.
Yeah.
But he's on a bit of a cold streak, and he's looking to turn that around in the month of October. So that'll be a lot of fun. As you might remember, or maybe you're new to the show, you might be saying, what the fuck is a Wheel-O-Ween? Guys, normally what we do is we have a big spinny ass wheel that we pick 3 topics off of that's got a bajillion topics on it. We pick 3, we put them out on the social medias for our friends and listeners to vote on. Once we have one, then we pick movies associated with that for our showdown episode on the first Monday of every month. However, in October, we have a different wheel. It's a wheel we pull out but once a year. And that wheel has just a bunch of Halloween movies on it, either movies that take place during Halloween, that are decidedly Halloween themed, whatever, right? These are damn old Halloween spooky movies. So we're going to be spinning that son of a bitch pretty quick. So if you have anything to add, throw it our way on the social medias, slide into the DMs. You can send us an email, halloweenisforeverpod@gmail.com. If it's already on the wheel, we won't add it again, obviously. But if it ain't on the wheel, we'll put it on there. And there's weird shit on there. So It doesn't have to be any, type of fucking masterpiece. It can be a real piece of garbage if you want it to be. And you know what? That just increases the chances that Ben's going to get another piece of garbage that he has to defend.
Yep.
Or perhaps our other potential guest. But yes, we give out spooky treats in the form of content every damn Monday. The showdown happens just the first Monday of every month. But if that every goddamn week is not enough content for you, you might be saying, how do I get more of these boys in my ear holes? Here's how you do it. You go over to patreon.com/Halloween is forever. You subscribe to the Patreon, and then Steve, tell them what they get, because they get a whole mess of shit.
Yeah, you get a whole mess of shit over there on the patreon.com/Halloween is forever. You give us $5 because we want $5. $5 is what's going to make us happy. So you go on there, give us that money. What you get in return is you get on the Discord. You get to chirp at us while we're recording episodes. We'll somewhat pay attention to you. You get to see episodes happen live. You get reviews and recos written up by me. You get 31 Days of Horror, which is just a whole entire month of talking about horror movies, writing horror movies up, just whatever I'm watching. And on top of all that, you get the monthly exclusive podcast of whatever series we're doing. We've done 2 series in the past, one about Fast and the Furious and one about Christian horror movies. And now we're on 90s is Forever, which is our comedy focused shows that are also, they have a horror connection, but mostly they're just really bad comedies that everybody's forgotten and are possibly made by people who are yacked up and dead now.
Yeah, they died. They did too much cocaine and their hearts exploded. But the movies are also not funny.
Mhm.
So usually it's fun to make fun of how not funny they are. Similarly, prior to that, the Christian horror movies that we talked about, they're bad. Obviously, they're fucking bad. They're horrible. And also, for those of you who are joining the podcast, you'd be like, what are you watching Christian horror movies for? Don't worry. We're more Satan guys over here. I speak for myself. Much more of a Satan guy over here. But these are like weird right-wing propaganda Christian horror movies. Don't worry. We don't buy them. I would urge you not to buy them. If you want them, steal them for sure. But they're really fun to make fun of and talk about how fucking stupid these people are because they're telling you you're going to go to hell for, being gay or I don't know, not liking your grandma's cooking or whatever the thing they want to scare you about that particular week is.
Most of them.
Jerking off. A lot of stuff about jerking off.
Yeah. Most of them, though, you don't have to steal at all because they're so fucking desperate for people to watch their shitty movie.
Yeah.
They're up for free on YouTube.
I know.
They're just like, please, anybody, watch this shit. We need you to believe in our fucking fairy tale man. Please help. Please clap.
I like to go find a different YouTube channel that's not the creator.
Yeah.
That somebody else posted it and called it like dumbass piece of shit movie. And I'll watch that one. So I'm not even giving them the clicks, right? On their channel.
I'm just gonna start a YouTube channel called Craze Farts, and it's just all fucking movies.
It's just all these movies. Yeah. That's what I would suggest doing. But also Fast and the Furious movies prior to that, if you can steal those, also steal those. Because fuck Vin Diesel.
Yeah, fuck Vin Diesel.
And Paul Walker. They're all
Paul Walker's a
shit too. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's dead. But fuck him.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Go over to patreon.com/Halloween is forever. Subscribe over there. It's really fun. Okay. Anything else before we get into, speaking of really fun, anything else before we talk about R.O.T.O.R?
No, I think I was just thinking about how
bitch for another 90 seconds about how you got fucked.
Yeah, maybe. But, oh no, more actually, I just want to threaten you and the audience because now this is now initiated the villain arc of what should have been a layup win for me, what was an obvious win for me, has now activated a protocol in which the next time I do win, fuck all of you, you're getting it. You're all going to get it. We're going
heel turn.
Yeah, you're all going to get it.
Get it, and you don't even know it, and I'm going to give it to you. Yeah, this is the heel turn. I saw this comment, and I actually thought about doing my own heel turn, and just doing like a I win, even though it was like it was like getting counted out on a technicality, but then like celebrating with the holding the belt up, running around, doing that type of stuff. I thought about doing that and going with a real nasty, terrible punishment movie. But I've had this one on my list for a while, and I was like, all right, let's just do it. It'll be fun. And honestly, I was watching good movies all week.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was watching like quality films, like stuff that, for those of you who are fans of the show might know, I am typically allergic to movies over like an hour and 40 minutes. Like I just am not, I ain't got a ton of free time. I'm trying to do stuff that's a little, I like an hour 27, an hour 34, that's like my sweet spot. But I've been watching these fucking 2+, some instances, goddamn close to 3 hour long movies this week. And I just didn't have it in me to watch something really, really fucking terrible. So I said, you know what, let's watch this hour and goddamn 20 something minute bullshit movie from 1987. But I foresaw the heel turn that's coming on your behalf.
Good. As long as you saw it coming. I mean, it's not as if you're innocent because you did vote for your own movie on Instagram. So you could have swung it the other way and voted for me.
I do that every time.
I know. I'm just saying you didn't have to.
Instagram account.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But you didn't have to. You could have.
But I didn't. I won by 2.
Yes, but
that would have only been 1.
Yeah, and it would have been tied. And so I don't know what goes on after that.
Oh, you're saying if I would have voted for yours and not as opposed to not voted at all?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't do that. That'd be stupid.
I mean, I'm just saying you admitted my movie is better, but You're not innocent. You have agency, and so now you also pay.
Sure. I'm not going to argue with this logic. I am a glutton for punishment. I say, bring it on. I say, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Great.
All right. Speaking of punishments, like I said, we're going to talk about R.O.T.O.R from 1987. Some of you might be familiar with this movie, but directed by Cullen Blaine. You might be saying, who's Cullen Blaine? Exactly.
Yep.
Cullen Blaine, aside from this movie, did direct in 1998 direct-to-video Disney 69-minute nice Disney movie called Belle's Magical World, which was like a straight-to-Disney, spin-off, straight-to-video Disney spin-off bullshit of Beauty and the Beast. And then he also did in 1981 something called Dennis the Menace in Mayday for Mother. It was a 24-minute, looks like an episode of something. I don't fucking know. This guy did a couple shorts otherwise, but he, as far as feature films are concerned, this is really it.
Yep.
Yeah. R.O.T.O.R's really it.
He directed 2 episodes of Garfield and Friends. And
oh, hell yeah. Which ones? Does it say what episodes?
I got to go look. Oh,
don't worry about it. I just know every episode of Garfield.
Yeah, he's mostly known for doing animation. So yeah, okay, he did the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Mouse episode. And
nice, that's a good episode.
He did Date of Disaster. If you know that one, I
don't know it by name.
The Longest Doze, A Little Time Off. I don't know if you, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know those ones by name.
I recognize the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Mouse one though, but
that one's great.
Yeah, he mostly is like known as a storyboard artist for animation, and like he has like over 100 credits for doing like work in animation, all the way up to like 2011. He passed away in 2020, so yeah, not working currently, but yeah, he worked on
because of the
death. But
yeah,
which is kind of a common theme with this movie. I think everybody on this film is dead, but yeah, he worked on Animaniacs. He worked on Bill and Ted. He worked on The Real Ghostbusters. He worked on the Super Mario Brothers show. So yeah, you've seen projects that he's worked on, but for whatever reason, I was trying to do the research.
Sure.
And I don't think anybody gave enough of a shit to care how this movie came about. For me, I made a story in my head, and I will tell you the story about how I think this movie came about.
Okay. All right.
So quite obviously, this movie is a fucking ripoff of RoboCop.
I mean, it was inspired by RoboCop. I don't even think it's close enough to call it a ripoff, but it was like they wish they could have made a ripoff of RoboCop.
So here's the reason why. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, it's not a ripoff of RoboCop, but it is a ripoff of RoboCop because it was filmed in Dallas, and most people think of like RoboCop as like, oh, that's a Detroit film, and a little bit it was filmed in Detroit, and even some of it was filmed in Pittsburgh. But the majority of RoboCop was also filmed in Dallas.
Okay.
RoboCop started filming in August of 1986. R.O.T.O.R started filming in October of 1986.
Okay.
So I have it in my head that and RoboCop didn't finish filming until like November of 86. So in my head, these two jagoffs from Texas, Cullen Blaine and Bud Lewis, got the word that RoboCop was coming to Dallas to film.
Sure. And
maybe they visited the set a couple times, got kind of a general idea of what the film was about. That, obviously RoboCop instantly inspires thoughts in one's head of like, oh, a robot cop. What does that look like?
Right.
And I would say maybe even there was a day where they kind of were on set and they saw that shootout scene where, all those gang members are going to rape that woman in the parking lot. and RoboCop shows up and shoots that guy in the dick, and he's like, "Madam, you've suffered a trauma. I've notified the local rape crisis center."
Yeah,
because there was a scene exactly like that in R.O.T.O.R. So I think maybe they saw that one scene filmed,
okay,
and then had the general idea of RoboCop happening, and then decided they were going to make their own film. And like, there's 5 producers on this film. 2 of them are the director and writer. The other is the star of the film. And then just 2 random guys who I assume they grifted out of money to fund this film. And so that's how R.O.T.O.R was born. This was their one shot, one opportunity. We have a fucking fall in Dallas where we're going to fuck around and make this dog shit film.
Yeah, this all sounds plausible. I can definitely imagine a guy named Cullen and another guy named Bud just standing outside a mini mart, you know, like drinking a big gulp, just overhearing like, hey, you know, a couple of guys who just came from the set to buy snacks. And he's like, hey, can we come watch? And then they're like, yeah, let's make a movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. And you know, I mentioned this movie is almost, every shot is almost a mistake. Everything is inept. Like no one involved who knew what they were doing could have possibly cared what happened. And we'll get into some, the thing that I find wild is like, there was obviously, I mean, it's not a big budget movie, but there's a couple of things that they did that like took a little bit of cash, right? This isn't like some shot straight to video, you know, micro budget bullshit. I don't know what the budget was, but they had a little bit of cash to play with. But like the dialogue, the performances are unfucking believable. They're just so fun. But the dialogue itself, I think, is what sticks out to me as so unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
It's a combination of horribly written, horribly delivered, and either zero or I would assume with almost zero direction. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the deliveries are wild.
The deliveries are wild, but the other part of that is the reason why they are so disconnected and crazy is because probably 75% of the film's dialogue is ADR'd. Because
yes, it's almost all ADR'd.
Yeah, they like the lead of the film. None of his lines are spoken by the actor,
right? Like
none of them. So they lost. I don't know exactly how the story goes, but like they lost all of their lines for the most part. You hear some poorly recorded audio where they just had no other choice, but like. Yeah, the main actor, all of his lines were replaced by somebody else because they couldn't get the lead actor back. Like he just refused to come and do ADR.
Yeah.
The screenplay it was written by Bud Lewis, but then apparently, like Bud disowned the film after it came out because
sure,
it was originally supposed to be a comedy. Yeah, which you can kind of see that. Like, somebody tells you this.
Like he wrote it as a comedy.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense, especially when you look at the other robot Willard. Like, okay, that makes sense that this was supposed to be a comedy, but the director Cullen and the lead actor Richard Geiswein, they rewrote the entire script and like made it more serious, and they cut out all the jokes, and so. You have like this incredibly weird, incredibly poorly written fucking movie that is just like, it's insane. And then like to essentially probably rewrite it a third time when they do ADR, it just like, it completely ruins what was already broken to begin with. It was already bad to begin with.
Well, and it breaks it in a funny way then. And I think this is, this was the best thing that could have happened to this movie, to give it a little bit of a cult interest level
Yeah.
is to make it one of those so bad it's good movies. And the ADR, I think, helps that. Probably the way it was originally shot, like the lines were delivered not as in not as silly of a way, where it just probably wasn't as funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
The combination of the ADR, the combination of them rewriting something that was supposed to be a comedy and shooting it straight, like that's what makes it funny. If this was a comedy, there's no way it would have been funny.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
If it was actually shot as a pure comedy.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we don't have Bud Lewis's original draft of the script, but like, yeah, you can't. You could not trust these two amateur animators. That so that's also the connection between Bud Lewis and Cullen is like they were both working in animation, so they probably knew each other from that, and then just decided, hey, let's make a movie together.
Yeah. And we had mentioned R.O.T.O.R is a R.O.T.O.R. It is an acronym. It stands for, ready? Robotic Officer Tactical Operation Research. Those are the first two could go together.
Sure.
RoboCop.
Yep.
Robotic Officer. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You get to tactical. Okay. Sure. This could be like robotic officer tactical weapon something, right? All right. It doesn't really. It's operation.
No.
Okay. Feels like that should have went before. If they meant robotic officer operation, and then research at the end makes no fucking sense. So now you have an acronym that doesn't tell you, is that the name of the, why would that be the name of the entity?
Yeah.
Right?
That's the name of the division that creates RoboCops. Not the name of RoboCops and RoboCop's motorcycle.
Yeah. Well, and also, even if it is the name of the division, still a bad name for a division.
Yeah.
A complete nonsensical name for the actual thing you create within that division. Anyway, let's get into a little. I'm not going to belabor the plot a ton, but I'll talk about some of the stupider parts. And then I just want to talk about some really stupid scenes here. So I wrote R.O.T.O.R 1987, aka RoboCop, of the entire crew, including writers, directors, editors, sound designers, lighting techs, and everyone else had all huffed ether. That is essentially what you're getting out of this. You start out with just so much text scrolling, which is rarely a good sign.
Yeah, I do want to go through all this, but now I just have this this image in my head of like, while they're rolling camera, everybody who's not like actively holding a piece of equipment is fucking doing space monkeys where they're choking themselves and punching each other in the stomach.
I like that. Yeah, they don't even have ether. They're just doing that.
Yeah, they're just doing low grade idiot shit.
You start out. I won't belabor this, but this movie, the timelines jump all over the place, and they're trying to be clever with it, but it just becomes it ends up serving no purpose and just becomes tedious, if not kind of confusing. But you start out with this couple that's like headed out to the country, talking about how they're going out for like a long weekend, getting away, and blah blah blah, and then they come upon another presumably couple, and there's a dead lady in the road. And then this redneck comes up with a shotgun. Is like, I saw them run down a cop. And you're like, who's that? Who are those people in the road? What's he talking about? Obviously, none of this makes any sense at all. And I think it's meant to be a little like, I don't know, to kind of throw you off. But it takes a while to get back to this. Like, you do see these characters next, in some upcoming scenes. But also, one of the characters looks quite different than he's going to in a second. And then some of the other characters are pretty fucking nondescript. So I don't know. It just it obviously doesn't land in the way that they want it to, but that's like the least of your worries at this point. Again, at this point, you're so focused on the horrible ADR that nothing else is really sticking out as notable.
It's because the film, we're like only 5 minutes in to the film, and it starts with 2 minutes of credits over black screen. So you're not looking at anything but names for 2 minutes. Then
long time.
This incomprehensible, like text crawl for a little bit. Then it's helicopter shots of downtown Dallas with an ADR, news report, followed by a ADR conversation of this with this car couple driving through the countryside. And finally they get out of the car and you think, oh, thank God, we're going to hear some actual real dialogue, only to be followed with more ADR from the lead and a random redneck. And you go, oh, God damn, this movie is just broken, isn't it?
Yeah. Every decision's a bad one in this movie. The names of the characters are all wild. Our main protagonist, his name is Cold Iron, is the way his name is pronounced, but his last name is spelled Coldyron. Coldy Ron, but it's Cold Iron is the way that they say it. There's Dr. Steele.
Yeah.
I'm just reading character names. Penny Gale. I guess Hufftalon.
Yeah.
Moki Killian. Groats. Kipster. Like, these aren't real people names. Like,
no.
where the fuck are you coming up with these names?
Yeah,
it's like if you gave an alien like an afternoon walking around in like the middle of nowhere, and they were like, all right, come up with some human names.
Yeah,
they might come up with some of these.
There's also the other character we see for one scene is named Shaboogie.
Oh, Shaboogie, yes. Shaboogie, the jive talking Native American. I'm excited to talk about him as well. That was a crazy, crazy character. But I cannot look at it without thinking. I just started calling him Cold Ron.
Yeah.
So in my notes, it's Cold Ron. So Cold Ron is this he's one of the people that's like, the woman's dead on the street, and Cold Ron is taken downtown by his fellow cops, and there's just, not only is Cold Ron explaining to the fellow cops what happened, but there's so much voiceover exposition that happens throughout this entire movie, and it's all the voice actor that is doing the lines for Cold Ron. By the way, Cold Ron, his facial expressions and just his overall look and vibe is probably my favorite part of the movie. He looks like a cross between Joe Diffie, the 90s country music artist, and Richard Brake.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He's like right down the middle for me. And I couldn't stop noticing that. He's got a big ass stash. He's got this like kind of curly, not even curly, more wavy, like golden blonde hair. It is not his natural hair color. It's just, he just has a wild look, and they're trying to play him off as like he's this kind of like cowboy type, but he's also in charge of this like high tech research arm of the government that is building high technology fucking super robots. Anyway, they get back to they kind of take him back to HQ, and they have him like on the slab kind of, and he's like explaining what's happening basically.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to learn about like how there, like I said, some of the scenes where the films aren't, or the lines aren't ADR'd, the sound is just so fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it's just dog shit. Like in this scene specifically, is you get the original audio from the cops, and it is just like echoey, bouncing off the walls, like just trash audio. Like, okay, that's the one bit of audio you could salvage, I guess.
Yeah. The first like 25 minutes of this movie are just bouncing around everywhere, because then they're like, well, it all started back on my ranch. Ugh. And then it just shows like 20 minutes of Cold Ron waking up, getting out of bed, making coffee, long, like panning shots of all his vitamins and supplements.
What?
It never comes back around. I thought like there was going to be some sort of reason why they showed us that. Like maybe he has some sort of, issue where he has to take his medicine, or he dies, kind of like in Fade to Black. But no,
it's interesting because this is something you would actually see in a better movie. And usually like a movie that's based off a book where like, the book paints this, large idiosyncratic picture of the protagonist. And so, all of their inner thoughts and, like how much they like their multivitamin and all that kind of dumb shit like that. And so they put in this crazy detail that like, oh, he loves to fucking take his multivitamins and with a cup of coffee. And then he goes and shares his coffee and carrots with a horse. And it's like, okay. And he's like, he lives on a ranch and he invented his own exploding lasso. And also he's fucking the super scientist of all. It's like, what kind of like I don't want to call him a Mary Sue, but like it's a very like bookish thing to do of loading up a character over and over and over and over again. I don't know if you've ever watched this this show. Or I'm sure you've heard of it, but like there's that cop show Bosch that's on Amazon Prime.
I'm not familiar now.
Okay, it's a cop show. It's just a general police procedural, but it's based off a series of books, and so the characters on that show, which is like what got me hooked to like watch it a little bit, like just fall asleep to it. But like they all have like crazy idiosyncratic things, and like one of Bosch's like things that he has to do is he always has to drink Fat Tire. It's specifically Fat Tire he has to drink. And, like, oh, okay. Yeah. And he's named after, Hieronymus Bosch, the guy who painted all those abstract portraits of hell. And it's like, sure. Okay, we get it. He's a complex character. And they're doing that in this bum ass film that makes no sense. Cause like this portrait we get of Cold Iron is of like this weird manosphere. Like he predates, like I think Elon Musk might have based himself off of Cold Iron. He's like,
like he comes in, he like
I'm going to live in Texas and then I'm going to build the robots and I'm going to get strong and ripped. And it's like, hold on, Cold Iron is this.
He shows up. He's like, all his like, people in his office are all wearing like lab coats or like suits. And he's wearing like jeans with a big belt buckle and a blazer over his, corduroy or whatever. So yeah, he's not your regular scientist. He's a ranch scientist. And then we just watch him dick around for like 20 minutes. Like he explodes a stump.
Yeah.
In his, like we watch him, and I get it. We're setting up this idea with this like exploding like lasso thing. I honestly don't even fucking fully understand what the hell it is. Is it just like the fuse? It's just the fuse of some sort of explosive device.
Yeah.
Like
he invented his own fucking thermite cord or whatever. And it's just foreshadowing for how he's going to beat R.O.T.O.R at the end. That's all.
Yeah. But early on they don't even really show what it does. Like they just it's a thing that explodes.
Yeah, he's like, I can lasso the trees and then they blow up. Well, yeah, cowboy time.
Well, and then it like doesn't do a good job of getting rid of the tree. It only like partially
just sets it on fire.
Yeah. Then he goes into the into the lab and his goal is to make invincible police, I guess. So it's very, it's kind of got chopping mall vibes because first of all, you see this, I don't know, was it an early version of what they were trying to accomplish? But it's a cross between, it's like if one of the killer robots from Chopping Mall were crossed with Alpha 5 from Power Rangers. Yeah. And you get this weird little like cop robot that literally wears like an old timey cop hat. as well. It's so good and just does little quirky jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah. It also looks a little bit like the Happy Birthday Polly robot from Rocky IV.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, but bigger.
Yeah.
You know, it's like man-sized.
Yeah. And I was reading like this was an actual robot that like one of the cities in Texas bought to be kind of like yeah.
That's wild. I thought that they just put something together for the movie because it looks like it looks like it's made out of shit that they bought at fucking, you know, Hobby Lobby and Home Depot.
Yeah, I think they probably added more shit to it to make it more movie friendly or whatever. But no, apparently it was an actual robot that I think Addison, Texas bought as kind of like a liaison to, you know, just like town activities.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a great use of tax dollars, I'm sure.
Yeah. So it was supposed to be like a little town quirk, you know. We have come see our fucking dumbass robot and say hi to it outside the library or whatever.
I wonder if its name is really Willard in real life.
That I don't know. And it's credited as Willard.
Well, over here at the lab, they're making super technology and they show it. And it's like a little linked together. Like it looks like it's made out of like erector sets and like vinyl hose. And then it just has like a spray painted silver skull for a head. And it's supposed to be like the building blocks, the skeleton, if you will, of the super cop. But it looks like a puppet that's made from straight up, like made for MST3K. But then it's moving with, it's not even being puppeted. It's moving with like stop motion.
Yeah.
And that's their super technology.
I wonder if like they got word that Phil Tippett was going to do like animation, stop motion on RoboCop. So they decided they had to fucking do their own, like, well, we need to do a stop motion robot. And then it's just like the most spaz motions. Like it doesn't make any sense what it's doing. It's just swinging its arms around like a child.
It's just swinging. It just looks like it's doing some wacky dance. Stop motion. It's like they went stop motion, eh? And then somebody told them what it is. And they're like, that doesn't sound that hard. And then they just and then it took them, 12 weeks to get it to just swing its arms around. They were like, fuck, we give up. That's all we're doing. It's like that scene in not 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, where Adam Scott's character is like, he gets fired or he resigns or whatever, and he makes his own stop motion music video to REM.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, what have you done so far? And it's like 4 seconds. He's like, I've been working on that for 6 weeks or whatever. Yeah. And it's funny because they're describing it. It's like, it doesn't need blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't need tubes, but then it just has a lot of tubes.
It's just full of tubes.
That's pretty fun.
It's just
all fucking tubes. Cold Ron, it's weird because Cold Ron knows this is going to go horribly wrong. And his attitude is like, well, that's my job. Like, he's like, I know that the creation of these robots is ultimately going to end, with the demise of humanity. But that's what they're paying me for. So that's what I'm going to fucking do. He's very matter of fact about the whole thing.
Again, this feels very Musk-esque in the way that he has only presented himself with 2 choices. And the 2 choices are, we're either going to have robot fascism or deep in my heart, I believe that humans are destined to genocide themselves off the planet. And that's what's going to happen. And also the robots will kill us too. It's just like,
yeah,
you've only set out 2 choices in your life. You never once stopped to think, maybe I shouldn't create robots that kill.
Sure.
Should I not do that?
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, he's actually thought a ton about it and decided, yeah, I think I have to.
Yeah, you know what? I will.
That's my job. So couple of, which I interested what your take is on this, because they put a couple of very clear product placements in this. And I get the feeling this was like wishful thinking. Like they were like, maybe we can sell this product placement later. Because there's one where it's like very clearly like a label out can of Coke.
Yeah.
And then later there's some Wendy's French fries. So I'm wondering like if they felt that they were going to be able to like make some money off of these product placements. I'm not sure. But it was obviously wishful thinking because nobody would touch this piece of shit movie with a 20-foot pole. But I don't know. I thought the arrogance, and then at the end, which jumping to the end, it's not going to spoil anything, where they strongly allude to a sequel, which is obviously never, ever,
absolutely
ever going to happen. It feels like that those, that naivete, those delusions of grandeur could have translated into them thinking that they were going to like make money off of Coke by putting Coke in here and then going back and saying they're going to sell a product placement.
It's very possible because you go to the credits of the film and like there's a huge list of thank yous in the credits that include Coca-Cola and Cintas uniforms and T-shirts Unlimited and yeah.
I always think of when I think of the big boys, that you're getting on board. I always think of Coca-Cola and T-shirts Unlimited.
Yeah. And then it's all like the local businesses that they film at, right?
Yeah, that's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. They also think like Lincoln Hotel, Hilton Hotels. So it's very possible. There's Al's Chuck Wagon Barbecue. So
hell yeah.
So it's very possible that they sold product placement based off the script to Coca-Cola and maybe only Coca-Cola because like I don't see Wendy's in the credit. And some of the other stuff that, some of the other products, she just might have not said, we're into it. Yeah. They did sell, they had to have sold because like there's a thanks for Sierra Auto Cars and I believe also for Isuzu, meaning, and I don't know if you caught it during the film, but they mentioned specifically makes of cars.
I don't know that I noticed. I know that they are driving some very unique vehicles. Like, they're not driving things that you would otherwise see. Like they're driving a very weird little Isuzu SUV.
Yeah, it's a crazy exchange, but it's later in the film when Sony is being chased by R.O.T.O.R and Cold Iron shows up and saves her in that parking lot. And then she gets away, and then he calls her up on the CB as she's driving away. And he's like, Sony, is that you in the, whatever vehicle she was driving? And she's like, yeah, it's me. I'm safe. And he goes, yeah, I'm whatever Cold Iron. I was the one driving the Isuzu Tracker or whatever it was. He just like calls out the car makes for no reason. I remember
that now that you say it, but I didn't notice that it was both the Isuzus. But yeah, that's that wouldn't even stand out as that weird. There's so much silly dialogue in this movie. Maybe one of my favorite scenes, which it goes on way too long, but there's a conversation between this random senator, which I didn't even write his name down, but there's a senator who's kind of secured the funding for, Cold Ron's, projects here, and Cold Ron over the phone. And this is where essentially we hear Cold Ron talk for, I don't know, at one point it seems like 15 minutes. And then the senator gets on is like, listen here, dickweed, we need this right now. And Cold Ron's like, maybe we could have it done in 4 years. And he's like, no, right now. And he basically said, he wants to move with the prototype. He doesn't want to. It's unstable, blah, 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 all the predictable things. He fires him. Cold Ron basically does the, you can't fire me, I quit. Then perhaps my favorite single scene in the movie happens where Cold Ron's kind of storming out of the building and he walks up and there's this cop that you never see before this and you never see again.
Nope.
And I think his name is Statham.
Yeah.
And he walks up and he is, the way he's delivering his lines is so bonkers. He's like, it's time to requalify, Cold Iron, you know, and he's just like, he's so cartoonish, and he's like, he's like, no, I'm not, you know, he's pissed off. He's kind of like, you know, do I have to do this right now?
Yeah.
You know, I'm out of here.
You want me to go shoot targets now? Is that what you're telling me, Statham? Now I have to go shoot targets? He's like,
yeah.
And this is why another one of those things of like, this movie could have been a comedy, sort of, you know, those thoughts were there, is that this officer has this insane Prince Valiant haircut that is also a mullet somehow. Like, it's a Prince Valiant in the front and a mullet in the back. That's crazy.
I couldn't stop looking at his eyes, because he has his eyes as wide as they can humanly be. And, you know, Cold Iron's kind of berating him a little bit. And then he's like, sorry, thanks. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying sorry and thanks over and over again. It's the strangest, most like robotic delivery. He's got like almost looks like a weird futuristic haircut. Like, it would have been like a haircut you would have seen in someone in like The Running Man or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In this like speculative fiction type of environment. Or it's in one. Now the more we're looking at a picture here in the Discord, and now I'm looking at it and going, yeah, it's the little short guy from Shrek's haircut.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Lord Farquaad.
Well, yeah, it's Farquaad's haircut from Shrek.
But on a real man in 1987.
But on a real man, weirdly smiling, giant eyes, his eyebrows as high as they can be, just going, sorry, thank you, sorry. Such a fucking strange scene.
Just to jump back a second, because this is my note on that whole phone call with the politician. Is the other side of that is basically it was like, it's me, the politician, calling up to convict myself as well as implicating others in all the crime that we're doing. And it's like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Because is he a state senator or he's something lower? But he calls up and he says, like, he's like, the senator of Texas gave money to the mayor and the mayor gave money to me, and you, Cold Ron, are getting the last little bits to make your stupid fucking robots, but now you have to make the robots work. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, if there's anybody recording this, you're all going to jail.
Yeah, this is some small town shit. For sure, which is interesting because this is supposed to be like some sort of like federal project, you know. But anyway, the not R.O.T.O.R, because R.O.T.O.R hasn't kind of been born yet. He hasn't been finally created yet. But the other like silly cop that looks like the Polly's friend robot. For some reason, he's been programmed to like clear his throat when he speaks. Like he's like, like he does stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then also he likes fries. He's like, can I have one of those fries? Like he's been programmed to do a lot of unnecessary things that you wouldn't expect a police robot to do. Like he's been programmed as like if Woody Allen was a cop, kind of.
Yeah. He's also like self-aware that he's in kind of a bad movie, and he's self-aware of like everything that they're doing at the lab is dangerous and bad and they shouldn't be doing it. It's just it's incredibly bizarre, and it actually made me think of Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide, because his delivery is also just like kind of flat and solemn. Like he's just tasked with, you know, following these idiots around as they build their own doom. And he's like,
yeah, he's like the movie's conscious.
Yeah. He's just like,
a little bit.
He's like, well, all these guys are going to kill themselves, but like, maybe I can get some French fries out of this or something.
Meanwhile, robot shouldn't need French fries. Shouldn't need any sustenance.
Yeah. He needs it for the oil, Brian. He needs the oil. Oh,
that's how the oil works. There was a a music cue, and they go to this lunch, right, at this like fancy restaurant. I think at this point it's when he meets Sonia. It's Cold Iron and no, it's Cold Iron and his
girlfriend
at this point. Yeah, it's Cold Iron's girlfriend still at this point. They go to lunch at this like fancy restaurant, and again we see this long drawn out scene of them getting out of the car, walking into the restaurant, walking up to the like not the concierge, whatever it's called, walking up to like the front desk. Yeah, walks up. They go, oh, right this way. Then we walk to the table. Then we sit down. Then there's a lot of them eating. And the whole time there is a track playing that is perhaps the worst song I've ever listened to in my life. I do want to look it up. And my note was, I need to know this track so I can listen to it if I ever can't work up the nerve to kill myself. Like this is gonna do
it. There are made. I assume all of the tracks in this film, because there's a couple tracks. They are written by Randy Moore and Cindy Smith, and I believe the one you're talking about right now is, I think it's What You Do to Me, because the end credit one is Hideaway. And they are both these weird yacht rocky love music, like
it's like easy listening. Like, it's not like Muzak. It's like,
because there's lyrics to it.
It's more like,
and they're terrible.
Yeah, it's more like easy listening type of what the station. You know, if back in 1986 you would have been listening to the station, they would have called it like contemporary easy listening. You know,
yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's fuck music when you're fucking as missionary with a lot of eye contact. Only.
Yeah. No, well, eye contact, but it's dark, so you can't see each other.
Yeah.
And you're wearing Mormon underwear, I think, too, probably.
And your socks are on.
Socks on for sure.
Socks on.
Yeah, let's talk really quickly about Shoe Boogie. So we get introduced to this character, and I personally wish he was in every movie. He works at a lab. His name's Shoe Boogie. He is this jive talking scientist, and he starts doing this like, I mean, it's kind of like the imp from Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Ballerama. Like, it's that cartoonish of jive talking that he's doing. Right? Really over the top, like offensive levels of jive talking. And then I'm looking at him going, sir, you do not have the skin tone to be allowed to talk like that. I get it. It's 1987, whatever. But then, weird twist, he starts talking about like his native people. And I'm like, who are we talking about here? And then he goes on to explain that he's Native American. And that is essentially like justification for why he talks like a black stereotype.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't think we ever see Shoe Boogie again.
We don't. And
I don't think we never see him again. I'm not sure why he was there. I'm not sure who, like if he won a radio contest to be in the movie and you get to come up with your own story or backstory to your character, and he took it like way too far. It is one of the more bizarre characters I've seen in a movie that has nothing to do with the plot.
So,
jive talking Native American scientist named Shoe Boogie.
The lore on the actor who played Shoe Boogie, because he goes uncredited in the end of the film, but according to IMDb and some other sources, he's played by the film's composer. So,
see, okay. I was going to say he's got to be somebody. There's no reason why he would be in this movie otherwise.
Right. Because like even, the writer Bud Lewis appears in a role in this film. And I also think Bud Lewis might be the voice of Willard, but I can't find confirmation on that.
Okay.
But so the composer of film is David Adam Newman. And he only did music for this film, and he only acted in this film. He doesn't appear anywhere else before or after R.O.T.O.R. And there is a good possibility that he may have just been an actual jive-talking Native American spirit that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I like that.
He just was an actual mystical being that no one has ever seen before or seen since.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, he was a figment of that female scientist he was talking to. Is a figment of her imagination.
He was a tulpa of the racist minds of Texans grabbing each other around the throat and choking each other on the set of Rotor.
Yeah, I like that.
And they just brought him into being doing space monkeys behind the camera.
Yeah. But they all had this they had a collective hallucination because they all knew who Shoe Boogie was.
Right, yeah.
And of course, everybody's Shoe Boogie was a little bit different.
Right, but it was still all the same.
But they all knew who Shoe Boogie was.
Yeah. The Shoe Boogie captured on camera is the one envisioned by the director.
Yeah, that was just his Shoe Boogie.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Shoe Boogie.
Well, it sounds like the name of an imp or a little mystical creature. You know what I mean? Would be named Shoe Boogie, not a full-grown human man scientist.
Yeah, no, exactly. You said sorority Bolorama, and that imp has a racist black voice, and if it fucking was called Shoe Boogie, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's just this terrible, awful little racist thing that shows up and harasses people, and but no, Shoe Boogie.
At the end, I just wish something happened. All of a sudden, they were just driving, and their tires exploded, and then they just died, and then it was what happened? And then it just popped up. It was it was me, Shoe Boogie. I did it.
You know what I really wished? And this is spoilers for the end of the film, but instead of that comptroller or mayor's aide or whatever, I wish it was Shoe Boogie that shot Cold Iron in the back.
Oh my God, how great would that have been if it was he was just it was me, Shoe Boogie. Shoe Boogie strikes again, agent of chaos.
Senator told you not to fuck around. Who? And then he just dances out of frame.
And he just does the MC Hammer dance off screen. One other thing I loved about this is we keep being told what day and time it is on screen.
Yeah.
But you cannot follow the timeline. It might as well just say a different time. Instead of
later,
Monday,
before
4 p.m. And that it's 100 different times. You're we're not keeping track.
Yeah, we don't care. We just assume it's coming after.
Yeah. A great scene here. We have Cold Ron. He's out and about. He sees a few randos who are, definitely up to no good. Remember, Cold Ron works for some sort of government agency that is adjacent to the police department, but he is not a cop, right? Or maybe he kind of is.
I think he's a cop because he has the rank of captain. So
yeah, but he's not like a street cop. He's not out on patrol.
No. He's it's probably been years if he ever did walk a beat. If he ever did. I don't know how he got to the rank of captain because he doesn't seem like an actual cop, because that just adds another thing. He's a rancher / robo
maybe
scientist.
He's a horse cop.
Yeah, maybe he's a horse cop. Maybe that's why he has horses.
Maybe he's one of them horse cops that does crowd control or whatever.
But then also a robo scientist, smarter than everybody else in the world. Fucking Mary Sue ass character.
Sometimes late in life you decide to be a robo scientist. Go from beat cop to horse cop to robo scientist. They cut to these few randos who are you can clearly tell they're walking into this gas station. They're up to no good. Cold Ron goes up to the car, who's the guy who's definitely the getaway driver. And and chases him off. He's like, you better get the fuck out of here. I'm going to fucking kill you or whatever. The guy's like, okay, bye. And then Calderon pulls out his piece. 1987, there is but one weapon you can carry to be the biggest badass in town. And that is a giant fucking like 50 cal Desert Eagle. Like the largest handgun known to man. It's just comically large.
You have to remember, he's also in Texas. So, you really got to carry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a gun that like just explodes people's chests if you shoot them with it. It can go through 40 people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is an unnecessary gun. He wraps it in a newspaper. It barely fits in the newspaper. Like this is his concealed carry. Then he wraps it in a newspaper, which is honestly pretty badass move to put your giant gun in a newspaper and then beat someone with it.
I don't even know if that guy was associated with the robbers. He was just on the phone and he got his ass kicked.
Well, he walks over to him and he just whoops his ass with his like I say, pistol whips him. Then we haven't even went in the store, by the way. A third guy comes out and he has taken the I guess the attendant hostage or someone who was in the store. We're not really sure. Her name's Sonia, we come to learn.
No, this is a different. No, this is a completely different character.
This isn't Sonia?
No, this is just a blonde lady. This is her only scene.
Oh, this is the Karate Kick lady. Yeah. This is the Karate Kick lady. He takes her hostage, gun to her head kind of situation. And his catchphrase, they exchange words about like, don't come any closer, I'm going to blow her head off, blah, blah, blah. And he just goes, easy breezy. Just blasts him with this giant gun.
Did you say easy breezy or easy greasy? I heard greasy.
I thought he said easy breezy, because then I was like waiting for the cover girl, but it never came. But the best thing about this scene, right? This is all dumb. Who fucking cares? The guy who's holding her hostage has a goatee. The mustache portion of the goatee is real, but the bottom portion, the chin portion of the goatee, is just oil paint. It looks so wild, and it's so unnecessary. Unless that guy played a different character later in the movie or something, and they needed to separate him. But it looks so clownish, and I couldn't stop staring at his oil beard. Yeah, his oil paint beard.
Yeah, it looks like he just dipped his chin in chocolate pudding for no fucking reason.
It's so wild. And then he doesn't shoot him yet, because this is how he gets away. The woman who's playing hostage straight up spin kick. Oh no, there was another bad guy.
There's another bad guy.
She straight up spin kicks his ass. He's the bad guy who's just responsible for the snacks. Because it's like car bad guy. Calderon already chased him off. Then there's phone bad guy. He gets pistol whipped. Then hostage bad guy gets blasted with the Desert Eagle. And then bad guy responsible for snacks gets spin kicked by like the hippie lady who's getting taken hostage. It's just a fucking wild scene. And imagine all those things. The wildest thing is still the fucking goatee.
Yeah.
In that scene.
Yeah. The wildest thing is still the goatee. And at some point, maybe you snap and remember, hey, wasn't this movie supposed to be about a robot cop?
Nope. There's no robot cops in that. I mean, there was the one, but it's not R.O.T.O.R. And literally at this point in the movie, I'm going, wait, is that R.O.T.O.R? Like we just didn't know. Yeah. But no, I've seen the poster, right? That's not R.O.T.O.R.
Nope.
But R.O.T.O.R, we're about to get introduced to R.O.T.O.R. R.O.T.O.R emerges.
We're 40 minutes in is when R.O.T.O.R finally emerges.
40 minutes in to like a 87-minute movie.
Yeah.
And then R.O.T.O.R finally emerges. And he comes out of like, it looks like, he's Neo coming out of the fucking weird bathtub full of goop. But whenever they built R.O.T.O.R, because you go from R.O.T.O.R's first person, and R.O.T.O.R has a giant inconvenient crosshairs right in his field of vision, which is tough. Really makes it tough for him to see. The guy who plays R.O.T.O.R, okay, so it's not, he just looks like a cop. Just looks like a cop that's really trying hard to be a badass. He's got a sick ass mustache. He's got a motorcycle helmet, like an open face motorcycle helmet. He's got a badass looking leather jacket and pants. Otherwise, nothing about him looks robotic.
No.
He's not like RoboCop where he's like made of fucking metal and half, his eyes are metal and shit. Like, it's not like that. It just looks like a fucking cop, like, or maybe somebody who's like into like leather play. You know what I mean? He looks like a leather daddy, honestly, more than anything. Not to be stereotypical, but that's what he looks like.
He's not far off from just being in the Village People.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like that's low hanging fruit, but yeah, he looks like him. I said he looks, the man who plays him looks like a perfect combination of Brian from Prince of Darkness. Okay. With that stash. And Sergeant Slaughter.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he has a little bit of an underbite and he sticks his chin out really far. Yeah. But otherwise, no robotic characteristics.
No. And I think, Willard, the other cop robot, does make reference to the Terminator in this film. And that's obviously what they're shooting for. Like, they were aware of the Terminator and they said, and maybe they even saw RoboCop in Dallas and said, boy, that's too fucking expensive. But we can do the Terminator who just wears a bunch of leather the original Terminator was just wearing that big gray duster that he took off Bill Paxton. But they're just
that's it. Yep. That's it. There's nothing particularly robotic about him. So one thing I know about R.O.T.O.R, hates chairs. This motherfucker hates chairs. He's always kicking over chairs. At one point, he's just walking through like a room where there's a bunch of folding chairs set up, like there's going to be, a town meeting or something. And instead of like walking around them or up the aisle, he just walks straight through them like a big robotic, just bad kid throwing a tantrum, just kicking chairs out of the way. I cackled out loud at that.
It's the funniest and most true to life thing because you have all these videos of robots just walking into shit and stumbling. And that's what he does. He walks into chairs and the actor stumbles because he can't walk through chairs like a badass because he doesn't, he's still like a 180-pound man. He doesn't have the ability to just kick through all the chairs in the world.
He's not like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Like he's not even he's a very average size person.
Yeah. And it's not like that he can
with an extraordinary mustache, but that's about it.
And they don't even have like the budget to gimmick the chairs to like break or shatter if he steps on them. So it's just an actor walking into chairs and like the chairs pile up in a way that like he can't push against them and he stumbles and trips and he's just like, God, what the fuck?
You can almost see him grimace when he hits his shin off one.
Exactly.
Like, ow, fuck.
Exactly.
Well, and you're like, where's he going in such a hurry? And where's he going that he is showing such utter disregard for these chairs? He's going to his R.O.T.O.R cycle, which is an entirely separate playset that is sold separately and is in a different building. Yep. And but he knows exactly where it is because he's programmed to know where it is. So it stands to reason, right? He should have some sort of, GPS that tells him how to get to his R.O.T.O.R cycle. He goes there, badass R.O.T.O.R cycle, cool, black, matted, spray painted black bike, says fucking R.O.T.O.R right on it. It all blasts off in the R.O.T.O.R cycle.
Well, it also says to judge and execute, meaning again, they never planned on the robot cops, acting out due process,
doing cop things. Yeah.
Doing cop things. Right. They never planned on them doing due process or going through, the court system. These are always meant to kill. They were always meant to kill. It's
show up, find somebody doing crime, kill them.
It's possible they were also taking off Judge Dredd with this. Because like Judge Dredd, Judge Dredd came out in the late 70s and, got a little bit, got obviously popular enough to make a Stallone movie in the early 90s. So it's possible they were aware of Judge Dredd at this time and just, like, yeah, Judge Dredd, he's the judge, jury, and executioner. We'll do that. Because that also says that's also the tagline on the poster, judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, it's weird because you think that it's going to be it was programmed wrong. That's not what's supposed to happen. It's malfunctioning. Nope, that's exactly what it's meant to do. Yeah. It's doing exactly what it's built to do. So we've now caught up, I guess, almost to one of the couples in the beginning and like where we were at when it showed the people in the street and the lady dead in the street and blah, blah, blah. We have this two couple. Now this is Sonia and her boyfriend, her fiance. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Doesn't matter. But they're having this meaningless conversation in the car for a long time about like how when they get married, he doesn't want her to work because it's embarrassing or something. And she's saying she's gonna, and he's like basically a dildo. And like, I guess that's what we're trying to establish, but it goes on so long. R.O.T.O.R pulls them over for speeding. Okay. The dickhead fiance gets out of the car and R.O.T.O.R just pulls out a gun, shoots him directly in the forehead.
Yeah.
Right. Which is cool. Great. I love it. This is fun. But then in the most baffling, I guess, reveal that is never really followed through with the same sense of urgency that it should, she hits the horn accidentally and loud noises. At first you think just horn, but later it's proven to be all manner of loud noises, perhaps like stun R.O.T.O.R to a point where he like just stops whatever he's doing and grabs his ears. So she discovers, we think, that when she hits the horn, his only weakness is like pretty loud noises.
Yeah.
So she hits the horn, she escapes. But never mind, she pulls over again. She goes, wait. So she saw her fiance get out of the car, be shot and killed, then drives away, and then down the road goes, wait, there must have been a misunderstanding. I should just pull over again and talk through this.
Yeah.
So she does.
Yeah. Real smart.
Yeah. But then, of course, as R.O.T.O.R pulls up to walks up to the car, he just starts grabbing her and just pulling her out of the car, smashes the window, whatever. So, of course, she drives away again, dragging him for a little ways. So she's off at this point. That was completely unnecessary, by the way. I don't know why that scene needed to be shot. I mean, I know why, because there's everything in this movie. They're stretching it to try to get it to feature length.
Yes. Every shot in this film is about stretching time. There was a 30-second shot of him walking off of his porch to his horse to feed it carrots and coffee. Of course, they're just going to find any excuse to extend every sequence as long as they possibly can. All of this is also shot on the same stretch of road, which I think is by an airport, because like there's no other traffic. Like it could be, like a stretch of road behind a high school or something, but we're going up and down the same stretch of road for all of this stunt work, as R.O.T.O.R's being dragged along the road, as the fiance is shot in the head. It's just all the same stretch of road over and over and over again.
Yeah. It could just be any generic stretch of highway. She goes to the gas station that's very clearly closed. It says closed. There's no lights on, but then she's like surprised and angered that it's closed. Calls the operator on a payphone, never tells him what, like, she just says he's after me, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she ever tells him what she's driving or what R.O.T.O.R's driving. So, and he never asks, but so I'm like, how are they going to find you at this point? But whatever. Also, R.O.T.O.R has this little thing where one of his like powers is he goes up and his computer brain allows him to see things that already happened, but only like several minutes before.
Yeah.
So when he gets to the gas station, he can see what she did while she was there. I don't know that it ever plays really that much into the plot. I guess they probably thought it was a pretty cool thing that he could do. I'm not sure, but it does happen several times. Is he can just see a thing that happened like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. This is also where he looks the most Sergeant Slaughter-y, because he's, you know, he takes his glasses off and he's like kind of growling for no reason, you know, as he does his sensor recall. And yeah, it's just a method to keep him on her tail. Like, he goes up to a thing and he basically just sees video playback. But I don't think it's a bad device that like this robot would have like a whole bunch of sensory things that it could do detective work.
Sure.
You know, that makes sense. You're like, it sees the tire tracks of like, you know, reversing, and then, you know, as she pulls out, it goes over the backup tracks. Okay. And then maybe he has like some sort of pheromone sensor or whatever. And he goes, a woman was here.
You are really doing a lot of mental gymnastics to justify Rotor's skills here.
Yeah, you get a little Rasputin in the fucking, you know, be a little nicer to the film.
So Calderon is always making, like I said, he's my favorite part of the movie. Not only the 80-yard voice over top, but he's always making a face like someone just farted. And he's just like, he's making a face like something stinks in the room all the time. It's a wild face to continue to be made over and over and over again. It's not like a mean face. It's like a concerned, almost disgusted kind of face. Yeah, there it is. He's always like, oh, what's that smell?
Yeah.
It's just
it's Ice Cube face.
A strange face, strange wrinkly face.
It's Ice Cube face.
Yeah, Ice Cube face. Sure. Yeah, I like that. Or Ice Teeth. Ice Cube or Ice Tea?
Ice Cube. You're right. Ice Cube is made himself famous off of I smell it. I had this described to me like years and years ago, probably over 10 years ago. But, you know, I was working this warehouse job. My friend Jeff came up to me and he goes, you know how Ice Cube's always making that face? And I go, what face? And he goes, you know, the one where he goes, you know, I smell a fart. I'm going to figure out who did it.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought about that, but then when you said Ice Cube, I was thinking cop, so I thought Ice Tea.
Yeah,
but yeah, now that I know, I can picture the exact face you're talking about. Yeah,
I smell a fart, and I'm going to figure out who did it.
That's exactly what the face that Calderon makes every 5 seconds. He in this weird, inexplicable exchange, Calderon calls like his voicemail box at the lab to, I guess, check his voicemails or something. He's sitting on the couch with his girlfriend and he somehow learns of the murder. Oh yeah, there's the face. I love it. I mean, it's exact. Yeah. It's exact. Yeah. It's like furrow your brow, like pull like a corner of your mouth up. Yeah. He learns about this murder and I guess something about he asks like his computer what happened or something. You know, the freaking robot cop somehow tells him what happened. I don't know, but they see that he's involved in some capacity, which tells him that it's Rotor's on the loose. Somehow he deduces from that. I don't exactly know why. Somehow he deduces from calling to get his voice messages at the office that Rotor is on the loose. So he goes into the office, of course. I guess Rotor is the explanation of why Rotor is on this killing spree is because they programmed him to do that in 50 years or something.
Yeah.
Like they kind of try to explain it as like the crime is going to get so bad that that's eventually what Rotor's going to have to do. But now he's doing it prematurely. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You didn't program him to just go out and kill people. You programmed him to just go out and kill people in 50 years. That's not that much better. You still programmed him to just go out and mindlessly kill people.
This is why Cold Iron is not a good guy. Like,
no, of course not.
Obviously, the senator that contracted all this is, a villain too, and he has like, a fucked up sense of justice, and he's predicting in 50 years, we'll suspend all habeas corpus and we'll, get rid of all the courts, get rid of all due process, just get it all out. And crime is going to be so bad, we're just going to have people executed on the street. And then Cold Iron's like, yeah, we can just do that. I believe it.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah, he believes it in his heart too. He's like, mankind is going to genocide itself, and they don't understand how to take care of themselves, so we have to build these things now. And it's like, you're all psychos. What are you, fucking Texas?
Well, and also maybe the going into straight up random murder mode should be a mode that's more difficult to access, not just like a button on his hip.
Not a default.
That he could lean on. Yeah, it could lean on a countertop and activate. But so Sonia goes into her fiance's just been murdered, by the way. She's not that concerned, but she goes into the least natural bar and restaurant of all time, which is probably the Chuck Wagon barbecue place that you mentioned.
Probably.
It's clearly closed, and there are clearly just sets of actors, couples of actors sitting at some of the tables. None of them eating, none of them drinking, just all of them conversing. And it's the most acted scene in a restaurant, like the most unnatural restaurant scene I've ever seen in my life. It's, first of all, pretty almost dark in there.
Yeah.
But there's not like activity. There's not people up and moving around. There is a bunch of people sitting at tables, 2 per table, and one waitress just walking around. None of them are getting up. None of them are talking. None of them are eating. It's such a weird, stilted scene. And she's just kind of hiding out in there, right? She snuck in the back door through the kitchen. There's some weird cook back there who looks like Stephen King's character from that one, part of
Creep Show. When he's got
Creep Show, where he's got the big fake teeth, where he's like the redneck that gets the plants all over him. And then she just comes to the front. She's just like, basically, I'm gonna lay low in here. I don't know why this really tickled me, but they keep talking about this other Detective Mango.
I'm so glad you picked up on that as well.
And I just kept thinking of Chris Kattan's character from SNL, the little monkey guy who eats the apples really fast. Yeah. That's
Mr. Peepers. Mango.
Oh,
was the
Mr. Peepers. Yes.
Mango
was like the flamboyantly gay. Yes. I forgot about that. That's so funny. Yeah, I was thinking Mr. Peepers when I heard Mango.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny because he's just like, he makes he's probably made like his 30th phone call of the movie and calls a character I don't think we ever see.
I don't think we ever see Dr. Mango.
Yeah, and he's just like, you got John Mango here. And it's like, who? Who the fuck did you just call?
Johnny Mango. Johnny Mango. Yeah.
Who did you just call on your 1980s car phone? You're not allowed to call John Mango on your car phone. Illegal.
Yeah. If anybody has a car phone in 1986, it's Johnny Mango's. That's just his Coke dealer. He's just calling to meet him up. R.O.T.O.R, of course, comes into the restaurant, comes through the same back door, walks up to the cook. Remember, R.O.T.O.R just looks like a cop trying to be a badass. He doesn't look like a robot. He doesn't look really that sinister even. He walks through the back door, and the cook immediately attempts to stab him with a knife, like with a kitchen knife. And R.O.T.O.R grabs him, presses his face onto the griddle. All right. There's plenty of ways to kill somebody in the kitchen. That's the one they chose. He chases her, a little bit through the restaurant. There's really no one else in the scene, despite the fact that there were a bunch of people at tables a minute ago, except for, I think, the waitress. But then she, again, he gets tangled up in some chairs because that's his arch nemesis, is chairs. He gets tangled up in some chairs. Sonia escapes out the front door. As Sonia escapes out the front door and R.O.T.O.R attempts to follow her, the single greatest scene in the movie happens. These three rednecks roll in all at the same time. There's the mouthy redneck right off the bat, who I forget the line, but he says something about, he throws some a gay slur at him.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't repeat it.
Yeah. Throws some gay slur at him. And then there's two other, rednecks behind him, like a scrawny one and a big jacked one. So as she tries to escape, he punches the one, right? Then the second one is like, oh, you punched my friend, now you're in trouble. Gets into this deep squat, like Taekwondo pose.
And he has scoliosis. And he has this dude fucking rules so hard because he has a pot belly, the tightest jeans ever.
The tightest jeans he could find. These are not the size he should be wearing.
No. Scoliosis and no hair.
Bald. He's just got like the horseshoe around there. And you see like, oh, he looks like a great shitty redneck. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, the scoliosis. I didn't even notice. Oh, by the way, he's wearing 2/3 of a Canadian tuxedo, and he just goes, "Oh, you punched my friend. Here we go." Gets into Taekwondo pose. R.O.T.O.R gets into Taekwondo pose. They exchange a couple of really shitty blows. I mean, these fake punches and kicks are missing by 1.5 feet.
Yeah.
He eventually punches, he eventually knocks him out. Again, you can tell he misses by at least 1 foot. Then the last one, who is this big, jacked, country boy, fucking Bart Gunn looking son of a bitch. And he's like, the funniest part is the faces of the other guys while the other ones are getting their ass kicked. It's like they haven't spawned yet, or they haven't, their interaction hasn't been triggered yet in the video game. You know what I mean? So they're just sitting back there smiling. So it's like in like a Dark Souls game where you get to an area maybe for some reason you weren't supposed to go to yet, and the boss is just like standing there, like because you haven't done the action that triggered, their little intro cinema, right? Their intro animation. So they're standing there. The first one comes in, calls him a slur. The other two are just sitting there grinning. He gets knocked out. The other ones continue to grin. Then the other one's like, oh, my turn, Taekwondo pose. He's getting his ass kicked. The other one's still just sitting there with a big shit-eating grin on his face.
Still in idle animation.
Then he's like, still in idle animation. And he's just kind of like bobbing back and forth. And then he's doing the... He says something like, now it's time to fight a real man. He like rips his, in a weird move. He doesn't like tear his shirt off like Hulk Hogan. He like he has a tank top, like a muscle tank that is tucked into his jeans, but he like rips it down in the front. So it's hanging down like a apron kind of.
Yeah. He doesn't rip it crossways the way Hogan did. He rip it down.
Yeah.
So it fucking flops down like a flap.
Yeah.
And you said Dark Souls, but for me, I was thinking of like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, where the boss hangs out in the background of the game, and like you beat up the henchmen, and then after you clear that screen, then he comes to the foreground. And that's what this dude does. He's like, now it's time to face a real man. And then, rips his shirt down. You go, oh shit, it's the boss. 2 life bars just filled up.
And he is big.
Yeah.
He's a big son of a bitch. And then, of course, very, very short fight. He eventually, I forgot to write down how he dispatches him. I want to say he like somehow gets him down to his knees and just like, does he squeeze his head? I forget.
It's a nothing. He doesn't even squeeze his head. The big guy grabs him up by the lapels, and then R.O.T.O.R just grabs his wrists and brings him down to his knees. And then like he pimp slaps him a couple times, like forehand and backhand.
He slaps him. Yeah, he does it across the face and then back, like Ren and Stimpy style slap. Knocks him down, and then the funniest part is they had this all planned out, right? After R.O.T.O.R takes out the last guy, the big boss, he's going to walk over him. He's going to literally step on him and then walk out the door. Like, oh, you are so insignificant to me. I'm going to step on you. But R.O.T.O.R is this relatively uncoordinated guy with zero fighting or athletic ability. And this is like a big barrel-chested guy who, even laying on his back, is like coming up to R.O.T.O.R's knees. Like, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And R.O.T.O.R, in the most ginger, uneasy fashion, puts one foot on his chest and then walks one step over him and out the door. And it looks so unnecessary, so unnatural. And you could just see the actor going, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, as he's walking over his chest.
He looks so close to rolling an ankle. And because I don't know why they decided to do it this way other than laziness and not knowing how to make a movie. But like you would usually gimmick it to cut to a different angle, probably like a lower angle where you see you can get a reaction out of the big guy as R.O.T.O.R steps on top of him. And like he can pretend like R.O.T.O.R weighs, 500 pounds or whatever. And, you are able, in that instance, to have R.O.T.O.R hold on to, PAs and grips who are off camera to balance him so he doesn't fucking, shudder.
Teeter.
He teeters like he's on kind of like the balance beam at like one of those like rope course camps. Is sure. Like he's trying to walk across this dude's chest and he like teeters back and forth and like
very wobbly. I mean, that's the most robot thing you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is like almost fall down walking through stuff. But he walks out the door and then he walks up to this weird little shed / ticket booth that's out near the gas pumps that they clearly just built for this, and it doesn't blend in at all. It does not belong there.
No.
Like, no, the only thing I could think of is if you're in one of those states where there's someone who like in New Jersey where they pump your gas for you,
right?
And they're outside, but that's not what it looks like. It looks like it's like a ticket booth. Also, this is like summertime in Texas. It's not cold, right? So, but this guy's sitting in his little weird booth. Walks up. So Sonia runs out there and he like takes her behind there and there's an ADR voice that's like, there's a trap door. You're like, wait, in the parking lot? To where? The underneath the parking lot? But apparently she escapes because then we get this like what seems to be a 10-minute scene of R.O.T.O.R slowly walking across the parking lot, confronting the guy in the booth. The guy just doesn't say anything. And then he like punches out the window and then he just like reaches in. So clearly he was supposed to be like reaching for Sonia, but then Sonia's not there. She's in, I guess, an underground tunnel or something.
Yeah.
Like, where does this secret escape do? Like, because the next scene, she's just outdoors running away somewhere.
Yeah. She's just running away.
It's the messiest, dumbest like way to get her out of this scene. I don't get it. I would love to know. I mean, it's obviously a mistake. Like they couldn't have meant to do this. This had to have been like we gotta edit this together to make it make sense. I'm not sure, but it's hilariously stupid. So he then has a shootout with a trucker. A trucker just gets out. It's like, again, this might as well just be a cop, but the trucker just comes out. It's like, what are you doing, son of a bitch? And then they just start shooting at each other. Honking happens. Again, you would think this is quite a design flaw for a robot cop to be completely shut down by horn honking. But it happens again, so we're reminded that this is a thing. She escapes. Cold Ron shows up. They fight a little bit, R.O.T.O.R and Cold Ron. And Cold Ron like stops him with this little object, which at least up to my knowledge at this point, we've never seen this and we don't know what this object is. It is almost like holds up the crucifix to the vampire kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a control pin or something, but like,
well, he explains what it is later, but up to this point, I don't think we would have known.
No.
We're just like, what is he holding up? This is a very silly scene because they escape in two different cars. Okay. Sonia escapes in her car. Cold Ron escapes in his, and Cold Ron immediately gets on the CB radio and is like, hey, woman who I just saw, are you out there somewhere? Sonia has a CB in her car for some reason.
It's Texas.
No explanation as to
Texas.
Why. I guess. But also they happen to be on the same like signal, right? And or frequency or whatever. She hears him immediately. She's like, I'm a girl who just escaped. Okay, so it must be me. They start talking on the CB. Cold Ron explains that he's going to use her as bait to catch R.O.T.O.R, and she just needs to keep moving, just keep driving. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Now we've got like a little bit of a ticking clock here or something, at least, right? Meanwhile, Cold Ron calls his lady wrestler scientist friend.
He calls the American Gladiator Steel.
Yeah, why, how, when? It makes sense at the end as to why, but it doesn't make sense for the story.
No.
It makes sense for the production, perhaps, as to why.
Maybe.
Maybe, at best, maybe. But it's a woman who has a perm, a high, tight perm, painted like a skunk, with a white stripe down the middle. She's also jacked. Again, she looks like an American Gladiator. She has like no neck. Like she's not just like a fit woman. She's like a jacked woman with a skunk haircut.
Yeah.
Who is apparently also a well-respected scientist. So he calls her up. We're like, were we supposed to know who she is? Like, was she ever mentioned before? The answer is no. Fast forward to R.O.T.O.R is just hanging out at a service garage, fixing his motorcycle. And a radio starts playing. And now we learn that apparently he gets fucked up by radios too.
Yeah.
Which again, huge design flaw. But it's not just, it's radios, not just the horns at this point. The voiceover of the redneck mechanic, by the way, fucking wild. It sounds like the redneck truck in the Pixar movie Cars that's played by like
Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it would be too subtle to do as this character. This is the most over the top redneck voice I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. And it's also comical because like the scene doesn't make any sense. Like R.O.T.O.R is at the service station and this redneck is working on a truck in the garage, and then R.O.T.O.R gets pissed off because of the radio, but then also he just picks up jumper cables but he picks them up by the safe ends. Like he doesn't connect them to himself or anything. I guess we're supposed to assume he's electrocuting himself to get more power.
Well, yeah. We don't know where it's hooked up to on the other side, I guess, but it's like, yeah, he's picking him up by like the handles. They're like jumper cables. And you're like, is he jumping himself or the bike or both?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because we cut from that to this redneck running out of the garage going, oh boy, go, howdy, you gotta get out of here, and jumping through like a stack of tires, and out of nowhere, a getaway vehicle shows up for him to jump in the back of a pickup truck and drive him away.
It's wild. Yeah, he had his emergency buddy who's whenever you hear me doing redneck gibberish, you know that a robot cop showed up. So get in the truck and speed over here and let me jump on.
Yeah, he's like, oh boy, how to clean this hoop back? Don't get a truck, gonna get young.
Yeah, that's like not at all far from what he's saying. So now we have like 60 seconds of. By the way, the lady wrestler scientist, her name Dr. Steel. Mm-hmm. So now we have iron, we have cold iron and steel, which is so wild. I always make I think I've even talked about in the podcast before. My because when we talked about Rob Zombie, my friend Scott, who whenever we played Goldeneye, he would name his character Cold Steel, which is the dumbest fucking stupid name ever all the time. And he also thought that the lyrics to White Zombie's More Human Than Human was just man. We like every time I saw cold iron and steel, I just thought of Scott. But just 60 seconds of them arriving at the airport, getting their luggage out, walking through the doors, a couple different scenes of them walking up to different counters, reception counters, asking questions,
checking into her hotel, taking her up to her hotel room, her putting her luggage down in her hotel, and then just a little bit of dialogue as it concerns R.O.T.O.R.
Yeah. Well, the conversation of them in the car after they get to their destination is without a doubt the most rigid conversation between two actors I've ever seen. Neither of them are could even, I think, realistically be described as actors, but they're both just like, and then this happens. Yes. And then this happens. It's so unnatural and insane. But he does explain that the object is a deactivation key that he was scaring R.O.T.O.R. with. They check into this hotel. And again, it just feels like they have zero urgency. They're just going through all this travel, all this stuff. And we're meant to believe that Sonia is still just driving.
Just on the road.
At this point. She's just on the road. May or may not have stopped for gas. I'm not sure, but she's just still driving at this point for like 20 hours. So they get to the hotel. Cold Ron and Steel decide to freshen up before they go and take on R.O.T.O.R. And Steel is wearing like a dress, like a long, I don't know, vaguely professorial dress, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Does have the skunk hair. She is jacked. Whatever. Then she's like, all right, let me get changed so we can go fight R.O.T.O.R. Comes out full like commando Hollywood or commando Halloween costume.
Yeah. Black tank top and fucking dojo pants.
Yeah. So now they drive, for a long time, talk about all like these just like boot bops and sci-fi bullshit that doesn't make any sense and is completely irrelevant to the movie because we're literally at the end. And how they might beat R.O.T.O.R. Is he beatable? Yes, because his bit bops and his doodangs, we can do this, right?
Oh, and she's giving Cold Run the advice that the way to beat R.O.T.O.R. is we have to R.O.T.O.R. was built by you, and so we have to think about what your mistakes are because your failings are his failings. And it's like, okay. So like you're
sure.
However you were stupid in building your dumbass robot is how it's broken.
Yeah.
And that's how we beat it. So how were you stupid? Stupid.
Yeah. It's a real chicken or the egg situation because it's like you made mistakes. We can either, the only way we're going to know how to beat R.O.T.O.R is to know what mistakes you made when you programmed him or whatever. So it is like the definition of like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you. If I knew that, I would already know how to beat him.
Right.
You know?
You wouldn't be here, lady.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had to call you from the set of American Gladiators. Yeah. Meanwhile, 20 hours later, Sonya has been running from R.O.T.O.R, finally chases her down. But then he launches himself off a cliff after all that. He actually sucks at riding his R.O.T.O.R bike and just his R.O.T.O.R cycle, launches himself off a cliff. And then Sonya ends up running into the woods. Okay. Which is brilliant. Old Iron and Steel show up, miraculously near the same woods, because they were just happened to be right there, and they start tracking him. And she's like, "Can we track him through the woods or whatever?" And they see a print, and Iron, or I guess it's Steel, says, "Is it his?" And Cold Ron says, "Well, it's not Pee Wee Herman's."
Just
what?
This fucking movie.
What the fuck are we talking about? So just as R.O.T.O.R has Sonya, by the way, chases Sonya. Sonya is along like a lake, kind of lakefront, and she allows herself to get backed into a boat, like a little paddle boat.
Yeah.
Which is like, go anywhere but in the boat. You know what I mean? Gets kind of backed into a paddle boat. And just as R.O.T.O.R's about to get her, Steel shoots him in the back she has like this big, like tactical, big, like pistol grip tactical shotgun, right? She blasts him in the back, and then quickly drops her gun. And this becomes a thread through this final fight scene, is they all have guns, but they all treat them like characters in fighting games that have guns, where they just pull them out to do like a quick special move and then put them back. Yeah. Like Sonya Blade. Yeah. Speaking of Sonya, or like other characters that just pull it out for a second, or what's his name? What's the guy from Mortal Kombat 2? Well, Stryker, yeah, Stryker. But maybe it's 3, the one with grenades.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Why don't you use all the grenades all the time?
Yeah, Cyrax and Sector, because they...
Cyrax.
Yeah, Cyrax shot grenades, and I think Sector shot rockets. It's like, yeah, just use that shit all the time. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Are we allowed, like, firearms in this hand-to-hand fighting tournament?
Shang Tsung said I couldn't.
That's how they use their guns.
I could only shoot them like every second or so.
Yeah. It's like a mulligan in golf. Like you can only use it a certain amount of times or whatever. But yeah, they have the interesting thing here is they use them like that. So like she shotguns them, but then goes up and tries to fight him hand to hand. Yeah. So she puts down her shotgun and goes, decides to go Greco-Roman style with him. Meanwhile, R.O.T.O.R's doing the same thing. So it's kind of even playing ground, because we know he has a gun too, and he's pulled it out a couple times, but then he immediately holsters it again and starts hand-to-hand fighting. So Cold Ron approaches. He's got that little key thing, and it seems to affect R.O.T.O.R at first. He's like, oh no, he kind of like shies away from it, but then he's like, psych, fuck you, and just puts his pistol right in Ron's nose. It's such a weird thing. He like holds it up and he's like, that's scary. Psych. Pulls out a gun, presses it into his face. But then again, Steel blasts him in the back with a shotgun once again, which affects him about as much as her punches. So either she punches really hard, or that gun is not doing as much damage as it looks like.
It's loaded
because it just like
it's loaded with rock salt like Kill Bill.
Yeah, it barely knocked, like it doesn't even knock him down. So meanwhile, Sonya's up by the car. We figure she knows about the horn thing, right? But she's not taking advantage of it. She's literally right beside the car. And the whole thing is gone. Like, we're going, why isn't she using the horn? We also learned seemingly he's affected by music or by like radio. She wouldn't know that, but it's like that never comes back around. So Steele is being squeezed to death by R.O.T.O.R. He's giving her the big squeeze. And meanwhile, they're making this very obvious like snare trap. And they're like one step closer, and his foot's like getting closer to the snare trap. And it's like, if you fall into traps that easy, you are not an effective robot cop.
No,
it's like a Looney Tunes level of like snare trap sitting there. So grabs him with the snare trap. It's some allusion back to, I think Shoe Boogie talked something about someone getting like drawn and quartered before.
Yeah.
Was it Shoe Boogie was talking about that?
Yeah, Shoe Boogie was talking about like how the Warriors would like elect to die by Blood Eagle, but then he doesn't describe the Blood Eagle, which we've seen in Midsommar, which is where they take your wings out of or they take your lungs out of your back as wings, and that's also a Viking thing. Instead, Shoe Boogie, the Native American, describes draw and quartering with horses, which is what they do with the detonation cord. And it doesn't make a lot of sense in the geometry, because they have one cord tied to the car Sony's in. They have Coldron ties another cord to a tree, which like holds his arm. And then out of nowhere, two cords that are taut grab his other arm and leg. And
from the other direction.
Yeah, from the other direction. And we've seen Steele go down. She tapped out to the bear hug. So she's not in this fight anymore.
Yeah. And
she
also,
died.
We've also seen what's behind him. Yeah. We've also seen what's behind him, and it's just the beach.
It's just the beach. Yeah, there's no tree there's nothing to tie it off to if it's not Steele holding on to it.
Yeah. But that's all right. Let's not get caught up in details. He Cold Ron does the very last one, lassos him with the very last one. Call back to him dicking around on his farm. And then he explodes. So we get the explosion, bang, 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 like a triple explosion. It's fine. Then Cold Ron tries to like say some stuff as he's walking out to his car. Like, they apparently go back to headquarters, whatever. And he's like, hey, this shit was whack. We shouldn't have made this fucking robot.
He like tries to wax philosophic about like
he gets really poetic about it.
About like what he built. And he's like, maybe we should have never. And it's like, I ain't listening to all that. You fuck off, dude.
Yeah. And as he's walking out to his car, randomly, we haven't seen him in an hour. The senator walks out and just blasts Cold Ron in the back with a shotgun. And I lost it. I was cackling at this point. And then here's the dumb part. So they blast Cold Ron in the back. And I'm like, hell yeah. And then they have the fucking audacity to set up a sequel.
Yeah.
Right? Where they send all of Cold Ron's like notes and whatever and his inheritance to his nephew at Oxford. And they show that they've been working on who? I don't know. How he would have notes on this already? I don't know. Maybe we're jumping ahead. Who knows? But it's basically R.O.T.O.R, R.O.T.O.R 2, and it is Steele. Dr. Steele is like the prototype, or maybe they used her body or something, but she is the prototype for R.O.T.O.R 2. And that's how it ends. And I just find it, I mean, obviously now it makes sense why they would put this bizarre character in as the other doctor. is because they were like, she's she's big, badass, jacked lady. She can clearly be She-Rotor, right? Bride of Rotor. That's what we're going to do next. So we have to shoehorn her into this movie so we can bring her back for the next movie. Because once they see her and all that sick ass karate action she's going to do, they're never going to be able to say no. Well, obviously,
the world said
they
no.
probably said, I imagine they said no months and months before this movie ever saw anything, like saw the light of day. But yeah, just the audacity of them.
Yeah, you're talking about the sick ass, fights that she did, and it's literally like you see her in the background fighting Rotor, and everything she throws at him misses. Like this movie is so full of like choreographed whiffs because everybody's just a fucking amateur, and if you saw that on film and that was the best take they had of her just whiffing on all these kicks, you go, I'm not funding this sequel. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself up your butt.
No,
absolutely not.
And even if she was amazing, like physical performer, martial artist, her acting is a non-starter.
Yeah.
You can't be in any more movies. In fact, the fact that we hired you for this movie is an enormous mistake.
Yeah. She almost wasn't in any more movies, except she is in one movie after this. She plays the character of Mary Turd in Flesh Gordon Meets the Cosmic Cheerleaders.
Yes, I like that. I'm excited for that. I'm going to go on the Letterbox right now. Flesh Gordon Meets the Cosmic Cheerleaders from 1990. Let's real quickly look at genres. Oh, there's going to be some. I like this a lot. Where can I find it? All right, adding it to the watch list. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mary Turd.
Yeah,
I mean that summarizes pretty much her performance in this movie. That's it. That's R.O.T.O.R. It's free, guys. If you want to go out and watch it, you can absolutely stream this for free on YouTube. Whatever. Steal this movie. Don't feel bad about it. Go watch it. It's kind of fun. It is a great put on in the background, half pay attention to, out of the corner of your eye. Then something wacky happens, and then you rewind 30 seconds. You go, that was fun.
The way I've seen this film before, which is far more palatable, is there's riff tracks. So it's the MS.
I did see, riff tracks version.
Yeah, so that's actually really funny. So you can watch that. It's on Tubi. You don't have to dig too deep for that. But yeah, don't pay for this. It doesn't matter. Like I said before, everybody in this film is dead. So there's no one to pay.
Is Mary Turd dead?
I don't know. I think, and I was trying to find more about her. I don't think she's dead.
Yeah.
She may have become really strangely Christian.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, that feels like there's only really two options for characters in this movie. It's death or, weirdly Christian. Yeah.
Just because I did find, like searching her, because her name's Jane Smith. So like, that's not like...
Oh, that's tough. Yeah,
it's tough. But I did find like this lady with a big chin who's old talking about Christ. So I don't know. Oh, no, this isn't her actually. Nope. Nope. That's from the 80s. I did want to point out one more thing though. The actress who's playing Sonia her name's Margaret Trigg, and she didn't really do anything either. I just wanted to bring her up because she has the most upsetting IMDb profile picture, and I'm just going to put it in the Discord here, but it is simply like a scanned Polaroid of her in like some nightwear in her bedroom.
Yeah,
like this isn't from a movie or anything.
This isn't even from like a boudoir photo shoot. Yeah, this is an amateur photo. She has her makeup done, she had her hair done, but this is a poorly lit amateur photo.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like, extremely disturbing. Like, it's almost like something you would see on Unsolved Mysteries.
It does. Yeah, it definitely has that vibe of like something you would show, and then next you're like, no one knew that this marriage would end in murder,
Yeah.
And she also has one of her hands behind her back, and if the other hand was behind her back, you would just assume she was a hostage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dan says, Dan in the chat says that is an early version of Photoshop, and it's like, no, Dan, that is her makeup caked on. She has
that, and also like the lighting's so bad that it's making it look even less flattering because her face looks like, Morticia Adams level of makeup.
Yeah, that is, she has like kabuki powder on her face.
Yeah. And it makes her face the completely different color than the rest of her body.
Yep.
That's tough. That's tough for her.
And she's dead too.
Well, so. Yeah, I could have guessed that. You take a photo like that, you're not living for that long. All right. Well, that was R.O.T.O.R from 1987. Kind of a fun little flick. Steve, do you feel punished?
Yeah, I do, because I feel like, I love RoboCop, and so you pick one of the worst kind of knockoffs of the RoboCop era.
Well, the reason this was on my list of punishment movies is I was looking for RoboCop ripoffs. Like, that's when I found this. I was looking for RoboCop ripoffs, which there are a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't. Yeah, this is widely considered to be the worst one, but also the least RoboCop-y.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, because this was basically in production at the same time as RoboCop, but they were both in production in Dallas. Like, these guys just got word of RoboCop and then tried to make it off what they thought of rumors and such, and except never have made a feature before or since, and just absolutely just tripped over their dicks just every step of the way.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our mini-sode, guys. Join us next week. Do we know what we're going to talk about next week? Well, I don't think we do, but we do know that we're going to talk a little bit more about our guests for our big episode in October, our Wheel-O-Ween showdown, where we're going to be joined by Big Ween Ben and potentially another secret guest. So we're excited about that. Get in those choices. If you've got Wheel-O-Ween ads, we'll add them before we spin that son of a bitchin' wheel. And we're going to get into some spooky-ooky shit, guys. We're going to do a lot of Halloween-y shit from now through October for the most part. And I'm really excited about it. My favorite time of the year. Probably yours as well. All right. Anything else, Steve, before you wrap this thing up?
Nope.
All right. Well, for the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
And I'm the robot who kills himself.
And I'm Boogie Shoes.
Shoe Boogie. I'm Shoe Boogie.
Shoe Boogie. I'm Shoe Boogie. All right, bye.
Goodbye.